The next Quest update, V85, is on the horizon, reaching the public test channel 15 days ago, hitting some headsets, not most of them, and randomly being announced on Meta's release threads, but then the release notes disappearing after some people were very frustrated that it deleted the navigator, even though everything about the navigator had been like controversial from the moment it started. Everybody hated it, even including Boz himself. The gray smeary background, the sudden change to the UI with little warning, a UI that felt completely different than anything we were used to on the Quests, and then they backed off, they put it in the background, and then they completely remove it in V85, but they said, hey, this is just a testing phase while we test UI stuff. And of course, as everybody hated it, now we've got people on Reddit back to wishing that it was still there. V83 was the last big change, but V85 seems to be stacking more differences on top of that. They're promising better mixed reality room mapping, which means that more complex spaces will be auto-navigated by your headset as it's mapping the space out, looking for things like tables, chairs, walls, windows, paintings. The new temporal dimming we already told you about will now have a smarter brightness setting to actually reduce your eye strain and save battery, especially as we're seeing battery life on those Quest 3s that people bought at launch is just continuing to degrade over the years. We did some independent testing here with ours, and when we first got the Quest 3, 90 minutes was about what we'd get with mixed reality. That is the most demanding way to use your headset, and now we're under 80 minutes ourselves on our Quest, a Quest that's pretty much had a battery strap on it the whole time, but now I would say is more essential than ever. Of course, more disappearances of the Quest Link name being renamed to Meta Horizon Link with all those changes, and a little bit of changes to some of the time warp stuff. I'll leave a link at the end of this video to what happened with V83 in case you're really interested, because that is a pretty technical breakdown, but weirdly probably one of the slowest rollouts we've seen on a public test channel update, and the fact that it got backlash right out the gate means maybe it's going to be a while before we see the final release, but it also seems like nothing is going to be earth-shattering, crazy, huge update. But what do you think? What would you like to see with Quest Update V85? Do you even care about what your headset's really doing in those ways? Or would you rather it be that you can just put the headset on and it just somehow knows what game you want to get in, it puts you in there, and you never deal with the navigator or the background? One thing's for sure though, as these headsets are aging, it is bringing up a lot of questions of what do we do with them. Our headsets are aging. If you had a Quest 2, if your Quest 3 gets broken and you're past the warranty point, there's not a lot of options except for Fix My Oculus. I've actually been in contact with the guys that run this a lot. They are really awesome people. They've been doing this since like 2020, especially when it feels like if your headset breaks, you can't get it fixed by Meta without paying a lot. Or they even offered me one time, oh, you can buy a refurbished for basically the full price, and they give me a $50 discount. But Fix My Oculus goes a totally different direction. Real people there get the headset. They don't swap it. They don't send you a refurb. Instead, they get it fixed. They give you an exact cost, tell you what it's going to take, what's wrong with it, and if you approve it, they then fix it for you. They even give you a shipping label so that it's ready to go. You just slap it on, throw it to them. And although they're called Fix My Oculus from back in the day, they're doing other kinds of headsets, PSVR, Valve stuff, and they're even starting to sell mods. You can get like transparent cases swapped out and stuff. Really cool company. You definitely need to check them out. I'll leave some links below, especially if you got one of those headsets laying around. It could be a really simple repair to get it running again, give it to a friend after that, or keep it for extra multiplayer games. Links down below. Thanks to them for supporting the VR community when so many hadn't, and thanks to them for sponsoring this week's news. A lot of rough news came in the last couple weeks. If you've been following the VR scene, you know about it. What's happening with Meta, cutbacks, layoffs, companies disappearing, developers having to scale way back. Before we get into all that though, I'd love to talk about a little bit of the good news and remind you that even though there's going to be tons of articles again saying VR's dead, it's all over, blah, 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 people are still getting headsets for Christmas and they're still spending time with them. They just might be spending different time than we think. But as recently as New Year's Eve, VR chat set a new concurrent user record. That means that more people were in VR chat than ever. Alongside news like that, news of this new game, if you haven't already tried it, UG or UG, depending on what you call it, becoming now very quickly, less than 6 months, the top reviewed app on the Quest with a 4.9 star rating, putting it above even the likes of Gorilla Tag and Animal Company. Of course, this is a free game with gorilla-based movement, so prepare yourself if you're going to go check it out after this and see what you think of it. But it shows that as VR may be evolving, I don't believe it's truly dead, but I may be biased there, so take that with a grain of salt, and let's talk about the bad news too. And if you somehow missed the big news when I dropped, Meta said basically they're going to cut back 10% of their metaverse-related VR projects. 10% of the Reality Labs division, that is the one that deals with all kind of XR wearables. And although 10% may not sound huge, with the billions of dollars they've been investing, it means a lot to the entire industry, including a Batman Arkham sequel being canceled. Multiple studios announcing closures, layoffs, huge reductions. Supernatural VR, probably the biggest fitness app next to FitX XR in the entire VR space losing support. That doesn't mean the app is disappearing yet, but that means that most of the team is gone, and the future of it is kind of up in the air right now because it uses a lot of licensed music, and yet somehow the subscription is still payable. Meta also looking at a lot of different divisions that they have, shutting down their Quest for Business program. Of course, this has people worried about the future of VR. What does it mean for all of us with headsets, even as a Quest 4 is possibly getting pushed further out, being more focused towards gaming? I know a lot of you in the comments have been asking, where's my position on all this? What does this mean to me? Gaming industries evolve. I, for a long time, have said, if you've been here with the channel, you know that it seems like Meta had been overinflating an industry that didn't have the people or support yet that they were pushing so hard, and the side of it that they were pushing, the metaverse side, Horizon, was never something I was a big fan of anyways. My hope is now that Valve's getting back into the game with their headset, this can push more developer money into the hands of developers that care and aren't just here to make a quick buck or be part of the metaverse or whatever. But it obviously means less headsets. Maybe the headsets are more expensive again like they used to be in the early days. Meta really undercut everyone when they dropped the Quest and the prices on it. But it also takes me back to the days when Sony was investing more, and we got games like Astrobot and Farpoint, still some of the games that I think were some of the best games ever made in VR. But it also may mean that the Meta store gets even more clogged up with free-to-play guerrilla-based games and games that don't necessarily appeal to a lot of our audience here. But it also seems really reactionary that people are jumping on all of this so hard, saying that, oh, VR had a rough holiday, rough year, when a new Quest didn't come out, because for pretty much every year for the past several years, a Quest has come out. That's been what's pushed it up. So if you take that out of the equation, last year would have been VR's worst year, the year before. Ultimately, what we were all hoping with VR was it would eventually lead to these XR glasses that could give you just as immersive VR game if you want it, but also be taken out on the street and used every day, maybe replacing phones. It feels like that future is still very possible, but the evolution may happen faster, it may shift harder, but there's still tons of hungry companies coming into the VR space. It just seems like some of the big OGs that have been around a long time and maybe been inflated by getting extra support by companies like Meta may have to reduce or fall by the wayside. This is obviously bigger than just one news video, and we'll talk about this more as time goes on. Let me know in the comments if you'd like a full long breakdown of everything that's happening, and we can talk about doing something like that with more opinions and not just the direct news on it. But for me, I'm not personally worried about the industry itself. I think that this happens and things change, and as we've seen with the gaming industry, it's gone through the same kind of bubbles itself. But I don't plan on getting rid of my headset anytime soon, and I plan on getting more headsets this year. And with all that, I plan on still supporting all of you out there in getting your own headsets. There is giveaways right now. We have one right now. We're giving away a Quest 3. We just had that one finished. Globular Cluster said they'd give away some of those really cool facial interfaces of theirs that have all the different pieces. You can customize and change them yourselves. The FitXR giveaway winner that we partnered with has already got their headset in hand. There is still another FitXR giveaway going on right now. So there will be links down in the description to all of those below. But I've got to grab some Globular Cluster winners right now. Announce that for all of you. And then we did already get the FitXR winner their headset, but we did also grab that one live in case we want to show you that winner here too. And out of 1,070 people, the winner of a brand new Quest 3 is David Schwartz. Congratulations to you. We'll hit you up, make sure we get you that over from FitXR for following them on TikTok. There is a new giveaway going on, so check that out too. They've got one, we've got one. There's just headsets going out everywhere. We've got 3 Globular Cluster winners to pick. This one was a much smaller giveaway just for an accessory, so we only had 164 potential users enter, but we'll still do them one at a time. Get them quick though. 1. Congratulations, Peter Sager. You're gonna get yourself a Globular Cluster facial interface. Winner number 2, Mark Phelps. Congratulations, Mark. Last but not least, congratulations, Sale. Congratulations, all of you, the winner of the FitXR, and there is more. Go enter in those giveaways before they end and before VR dies completely. And with that, let's end on some more good, exciting news. There is tons more going on in the space, but something that a lot of you were really excited about when we shared it in the news before was there was this guy that made a Star Wars Quest 3 helmet, voice changer in the Quest 3, wore it to a convention, everybody was checking it out. It's super cool. Our video on Instagram, thanks to all of you, has like over 100,000 views now, and the person who makes them, I actually teamed up and talked to them, and they were like, hey, I can make you one and send it to you in your head size. So we are in the process of testing that out. It looks awesome. I might actually wear it to one of the next conventions I go to, so keep an eye out for that. And we've got so many more things in the works for reviews and news and games and everything else. So thank you, and here's to another good year at least somewhat here. Maybe not for everybody in the space right now, but I do believe a lot of it will bounce back. But what are you looking forward to in 2026? Let me know in the comments down below. We can continue the conversation there, but I want to say thank you once again for being here with me, and I'll see you in another reality.